In the vast expanse of the verse, where stars ignite and empires clash, the UBE Navy has relied on one steadfast guardian, the legendary F7A Mk1. This iconic fighter has a legacy forged in fire, its distinctive roar echoing through countless battles. With its agile frame, devastating firepower, and unwavering reliability, Mk1 has earned its place in history. From intense dogfights in the depths of space to daring raids on enemy outposts, the Mk1 has consistently proven its prowess in combat. Its durable construction and reliable systems have earned the trust of countless pilots, allowing them to push the limits of their skills and emerge victorious from the most harrowing encounters. But the galaxy is a dynamic place, and the art of warfare is constantly evolving. Anvil Aerospace and their relentless pursuit of excellence has taken the legendary Mk1 and propelled it into the future. Behold the Anvil F7A Mk2, a fighter reborn. A legacy reimagined. This is not merely an upgrade, it's a quantum leap in combat capability. The Mk2's armament is a force of nature, unleashing a torrent of laser fire and ballistic fury that reduces enemy ships to smoldering wreckage in the blink of an eye. This apex predator, forged in the crucible of Anvil's relentless pursuit of technological dominance, is the embodiment of raw power and lethal precision, honed to perfection for the unforgiving void of space. But the Mk2 is more than just raw power. Its streamlined form and cutting-edge avionics deliver a level of precision and maneuverability that leaves its predecessor in the dust. It's a testament to Anvil's unwavering commitment to innovation. The F7A Hornet Mk2, a legend reborn. Out with the old, in with the new. Experience the future of combat with the 2954 Hornet from Anvil. Rise above. Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another video from Fist and Jawa Save the Universe. I am your host, Fist-25, and today we have a special treat. We're going to look at a ship that I have been wanting for a long time, and finally got my hands on one, and I can never give it back. It's with me forever. Many of you know that I am kind of an Anvil fanboy. They're by far my favorite manufacturer, and I do particularly love the Hornet series. And so the new Overdrive initiative that came out, and it gave us the F7A Mk2. I kind of fell in love with that ship. I loved the F7C Mk2, and the F7A is such a good ship. But it does have a predecessor, believe it or not. And that beauty is standing right in front of me. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Anvil F7A Mk1 Hornet. Let's roll that intro. Take a look at this beauty. We're going to take this beauty out today. We're going to fly around and show you what this ship is all about. So first off, it has that, of course, classic styling of the older Hornet ships. It comes in the I guess the UEE green colors, which is a little weird, but it has size 4 guns on the wings, just like the F7A Mk2 does. It has the UEE styling up on the top of the actual this part that goes back, if you can see it up here. It'll be easier to see when we're in the air. And man, this ship is just, ooh, look at it. It's a beauty. Yeah, on top of, I guess that would be kind of a horizontal stabilizer? A horizontal stabilizer, maybe? Yeah. Anyway. Other than that, you know, the paint scheme and the weapons does have quite an interesting flight profile. It is very similar to the F7C and the F7A Mk2. Very similar to those ships. So let's go into actual first-person mode and take a look at the ship. Okay, so as you can see right here on the front is this chin turret, this nose turret. This is a difference with the F7A Mk1 and Mk2. This turret is a size 3 turret, but it holds size 2 guns. Now all these configurations are stock, mind you. So it does have two CF227 Badger laser repeaters, not cannons, on the nose turret. There on the top, on the ball turret, which you could, you know, get from the Arlington mission, basically. It has, it's a size 5 ball turret with 2 size 3 laser repeaters on it. Those are CF337 Panther laser repeaters. These guns on the wing, this was new when this ship actually came out and available for use, is A4DB. It's the Crusader. You buy them. They're bearing guns. They are ballistic Gatlings. They are a little bit slower than the Revenants, but they pretty much do comparable damage. I actually really like these guns, and prior to the weapon change, these were like one of the only ballistic Gatlings that had enough ammo to make it viable. As we come around the back of the ship, it is a very symmetrical ship, just like an F7C Mk1. I don't think it has like a gold standard pass or anything like that. I mean, it's got tons of thrusters everywhere, fancy little Hornet thrusters that move around, and they're kind of iconic to this ship. It's got the big retro, I mean, they look like intakes, but really they're like retro thrusters up front there. It is a single pilot ship, and when we come up here and we hold our interact button, we can open the storage, open the pilot canopy, you know, enter the seat, all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and do that now, and hopefully check out something cool, something a little unique. Climb up our ladder. Pay attention to the multifunction displays up here. Almost like a DDI and a Hornet. You see how they came down? So these guys right here, they fold up and then this goes back in. I don't remember if the Charlie version had that, the civilian version had it, but they definitely have it here on the F7A Mk1. So let's go ahead and fire this ship up.
Anvil, Aerospace. All systems online.
Oh yeah, it's got good sound. It's got good sound, and as you're going to see a little bit later, this cockpit is quite a bit different from the Mk2, and it's different from the Mk1 Charlie as well, the civilian version. So one of the very first differences is look how high our hand is on this stick. It's really up there. I think in the Charlie, it's a little bit further back and maybe a little bit further down. It does make it hard to see and use our multifunction displays here. So I hope you don't need to use that. The two that are easiest to see, of course, is our ship shield status and our target display. Then we have, it's like our heat display and this is power. I think it's power. It'd be nice to over here just have like a shields display. There we go. So looking around this cockpit, there's not much to it. Definitely not like a gold pass or anything. We have a power off button over here. We have an eject over here. We have exit ship. The canopy button doesn't actually open the canopy. I hope it does in Squadron 42 because you'll be flying this in Squadron 42. Open exterior button. And I really think that is actually it. Oh, there's an engine button over there. But as we look around, it's very, it does remind me of military type of hardware. The knobs, the dials, the way things look. It was in the very first extended launch trailer for, I think Squadron 42 or Star Citizen, one of the two. I think Chris Roberts was flying one around in VFX. So yeah, so this ship is fired up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the outside of it. I do like the gun on the wing and how it's folded back. That does look pretty cool. Got our green UEE markings on the top of the ship. The green paint job. Now this paint can be changed, but this is the basic default paint for this ship. And I have the loadout set to the default loadout with the exception of the quantum drive. I did upgrade it to a Voyage size 1 so I could travel more when filming and not have to stop for gas. But we'll go over the loadout stuff in the loadout section. There's not too much about it, you know. Tricycle landing gear. It's got standard engine. I mean, it's not aesthetically that much different than the other ships in the Mark 1 series. So let's go ahead and raise up a little bit. We'll watch our wings come forward, our little winglet above it come forward, and our gear retract. And there we go, wing forward, and the little kind of the flap. It's like a trailing edge flap, I guess, but it sits above the wing and it's not attached to it. It came up as well. All right, we're gonna zoom out a little bit. There's an issue with like lens flare and brightness in this patch, and I hope it gets fixed at some point. But yeah, it can get pretty bright. So if I'm adjusting the camera, it's because it's bugging me. So that being said, let's go ahead and engage our SCM speed. The sound is really good if you can hear that motor as well as I can right now. While it's flying around in Orison, we'll go ahead and take a look around. Beautiful, beautiful looking ship. And I have flown it in combat many times so far, and it's nice. All right, let's go into the cockpit here. This bug is still here where we have the little power icon, even though I turned power back on. As we can see, it's kind of hard to see. The HUD is pretty small. We can see that our SCM speed right here in atmosphere is 226-ish, basically. For stealth, our IR is 7,443. Our cross section is 7,328. That is from the top, and the EM is 7890 and going down. We'll go ahead and check our boost speed. Notice it has the upgraded boost sounds. I don't think we're going to get the full boost. We're at 405. Now we're not going to get the full boost in the Orison's thick atmosphere, but we will go ahead and raise our nose up and head out into space. Check out those numbers in space. We're going to go ahead and engage navigation mode. And that default halfway navigation mode is going to raise us up to climbing to 400-ish. Not too bad. Low 14s right there. And we are just clear to quantum away. Turning in atmosphere a little, not too bad. I mean, better than other ships, but still a little squirrely. Quantum to Seraphim.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Gotta wait for the server to catch up. Okay, and there we go. Enjoyed that. All right, let's check out what this ship can do for top speed here in space. Had some G's there. Okay, it looks like our max speed right here is 1170, which isn't that fast. Do we still have fireworks going on? I think we do. I think we still have fireworks from Invictus that are still going. I think we missed them. But here is this ship flying around in space. Looks good, right? But I mean, it's more than just aesthetics. I'm sure you guys want to see how it performs in combat, especially compared to the F7A Mk2. So we will even out ship here. Let's go ahead and go into SCM speed. We can check that out in space and actually get a feel for what it is in space. So it is 233 is our SCM speed. A boost speed of, it's climbing 492. For weapons, we have 75 shots of our Badger and Panther laser repeaters, and 1,500 rounds in our AD-4Bs. All right, we'll give it some maneuverability here, maneuverability test. As I turn around, I hit about 12 G's there as I did a 180, but that was pretty darn quick. Let's give it a full yaw. It actually feels really good. Not too bad on the G's either. Let's go give it a pitch. The pitch actually feels really good. It feels really responsive. It moves about how I felt it would move, how I wanted it to move. The roll is a little slow for my taste, but it's still really, really well done. So we'll get into the lowdown stuff later on in the video, but let's go take this ship out, see if we can find a combat mission and see how she does. I actually pulled my sticks out for this video, so we will use sticks for that. So stay tuned and we'll get that going. If you like this video so far, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. Leave a comment in the comments section below, and don't forget to check out our Discord, the B team on Discord, and check out our streams every Thursday at 7 Mountain and every Sunday at 9 Mountain on Twitch. All right, we are back. All right, so our bounty is ahead of us. One of the other things about this ship is that it has 4 missile racks on it. So we can see that there are Marksman 1 missiles, size 1 missiles. There's 8 of those. I believe those are cross section. Go ahead and spool 2 of those up, and it contains 4 Dominator 2 missiles as well. That is a difference from the F7A Mk2, which has all size 2 missiles. Only has 2 missile racks, so those missile racks are bigger. If we want to check and see what the missile rack looks like in here, that's kind of hard to see. It's right here under, basically, the retro thruster, right there. So zoom out our view again as we make our way to the target. It's an LRT, so I couldn't find a good bounty up in space. So we're going to take this, and we're getting closer as we go. All right, so we have our neutralize here. Time to pull out those sticks. Can't see my target just yet. I have the neutralize. give ourselves a little boost. We're not hiding from anybody in this ship, are we? Still can't see him yet. There we go. Rice Folly, who's in a Drake cutter. Okay. I guess we'll see what the missiles do. Ox 2. Go. Ah, we got the coming in, coming out type of stuff. All right, well that didn't work real well. So let's attack. I don't have all my settings just right yet for dogfighting, but some of them are not too bad. I do hate that sometimes fighting PvE, they do tend to stop on a dime still.
Target destroyed.
Ooh, there he goes. You get a hard death on this guy.
Is at 75%.
Oh, did you hear that? Hydrogen fuel's low. So that is a problem I have seen with these ships. Both the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. We're going to switch to smaller missiles.
Aft proximity alert.
And that they go through fuel really, really fast. And these missiles aren't hitting for nothing. It's all guns today. And we're fighting a Hornet Mark 1. It's
Proximity alert.
come on. There we go. I want to sit there and trade with them.
Target destroyed.
There he goes. All right. And our last target.
Lock.
Oh, the missile wasn't loaded yet. Oh! Get in range. One more missile. Come on, baby. All right. Well, the 85X is pretty quick. Let's see if we can scooch away from him and get a missile off on him.
Lock. Starboard proximity alert.
No, those missiles aren't going to hit either. I did not see any countermeasures, though. This ship I'll sit here and trade blows with.
Target destroyed.
And he's gone. I mean, gone, right? And all our missiles are floating out around there. So, while that was an easy mission, being an LRT, I think it showcased the fightability. Oh, there goes that Mark 1 Hornet. Hornet on Hornet violence. Go back to my mouse and keyboard here for more regular flying. I hope it showcased just how awesome the ship is. As you can see, there's a lot of engine showing, and we're in the darkness of space. But really, just really a powerful ship here. These guns, they do not mess around, right? We are rocking and rolling in some combat. I was handling MRTs and HRTs pretty darn easy. So, what do we do next? I mean, we're here up in space. Do we maybe go down to the moon and go fly around the moon, see how it performs in atmosphere? Maybe do some maneuvers, something like that. There's not much else you're going to do in an F7A Mk1 except combat. It's a combat ship, and it's made to be a dogfighter. So, interesting. Really interested to see what you guys think about it. So let's take it down to the surface of Yella, move it around, and see how it goes. All right, folks, so here we go. We are making our way towards Yella. Last time I was here, there was a snowstorm, and it's not a fun experience. does, yep, there's the snow. It does take some getting used to fly at these slower speeds, especially in atmosphere. I'm just not really used to it. One of the things I do like about the Hornet as compared to other ships like a Santuck Yai or something is that it is pretty flat on the bottom, so I can more easily judge, because I can't see the bottom, I can more easily judge how tight I can actually get to the ground. I don't love the altitude indicator being white on a white surface, but it is what it is. So this is flying around at SEM speed. It's actually pretty darn nice. Throw some boost up there. Handles just so nice. A nice 180. Hopefully I don't black out. There we go. So that moved really well on the moon here. Come up and do this little loop. Really well done. So you see the pitch is really good. The yaw is actually really good for a combat ship. What I don't necessarily love is the roll rate. It is a little slow in comparison to some other of the medium or smaller dogfighters. So let's unlock that. Let's unlock the nav mode here. See what this ship is like a little bit faster. What kind of speeds can we achieve here on Yella? Getting up near the top of that range. Easily gonna get into the 900s if I push it. With boost. Yeah, up into the 1,000 range near top speed. In nav mode.
Hydrogen fuel is at 50%.
And now we've already, I mean, the whole video, we've already burned half of our fuel. So it does go through hydrogen fuel really fast. And now it's a little bit shadier side of Yella here. So all in all, the handling is really, really good. It's a really fun ship to fly. It handles really well in combat. It's really good as a kind of a team. You know, having multiples of these. I have fought with some of the B team members, and it was a lot of fun. But I am interested in your thoughts on what you think of the F7A Hornet Mark 1. Have you guys ever seen one before? Have you flown one before? Do you own one? I actually got mine from a friend of mine in the B team. He had one, and he's not a big dogfighting guy. So big shout out to Kalis47. We made some trades, and he did not force me to overpay for the ship. So hats off to Kalis. We can't undo the trade anymore anyway. So I love this ship. I've been wanting one forever, and I came into the game too late to actually get one. So I'm glad I found somebody who was willing to part with theirs. And I think we made a good trade overall. If you guys ever want to try one out, and you do see me in the game and I'm not busy doing nothing, or you're hanging around in the Discord, just ask. I'll let you fly it all day long. All right, now I think we need to take a look at upgrade to the ship, the new mighty F7A Hornet Mark II. Well, hello again, friends, and welcome back. We are now looking at a different ship. We are at a rooftop at Hurston on the city of Lorville. See the skyline, the dark skyline behind me. We're going to take a look at the comparison ship to the F7A Mark I, the brand new F7A Mark II, right in front of me. So there she is, folks. The brand new Hornet. I've actually already done a video on this, and she is a heck of a ship. She flies really, really well. I did a comparison video earlier on the F7C Mark II to the F7A Mark II. And this ship is superior in most aspects. It doesn't pull cargo, but in the combat aspects, it is superior. It has bigger missiles and bigger guns on the turret. But as you can see, in comparison to the F7A Mk1, it is that new Hornet design. The Mark II is, again, a symmetrical ship. I mean, it has all the classic hallmarks of Anvil, of the Hornet series, with these horizontal / vertical stabilizers back here, the big single engine that reminds me of an F-16. And even though the retro thrusters up front look like intakes, even though they're not, it just kind of, it has that hallmark of almost a F-35 look to it. I do like the default paint that it comes with, this digital camo paint. It's just very nice, and it's an updated ship, a brand new ship in patch 3.23 overall. And we're gonna compare it today. So let's take a deeper dive into the ship as we walk around it. Okay, so now here in actual first person, we can see up on the nose that this guy actually has some pretty powerful laser cannons. They're cannons both on the nose and on the top ball turret. These are OmniSky 9s. This is a size 3 turret with size 3 laser cannons, and they do significant, about 499, almost 500 DPS, right? Coming around the side, looking up top to that ball turret, it's a size 5 CF-173F ball turret holding 2 OmniSky 9 size 3 laser cannons. These are all stock loadouts for weapons. The only thing that's different about this ship is that I have upgraded the quantum drive to a little faster drive, but still size 1, so performance-wise that has no impact. And the Mark I also has the same drive, so all even across the board there. On the wings is a size 4 gimbal and a size 4 Revenant ballistic Gatling. So this is the faster of the Gatling guns, and I have always loved this gun. The Revenant arms, ballistic, or I'm sorry, Apocalypse arms, Revenant Gatling. It's been just one of my favorites because it fires so fast and it reminds me of an actual. As we move around the rest of the ship, I don't think there's a ton of interactables, at least that I can get to here on the ground. Same type of tricycle landing gear configuration. Not seeing where I can get any kind of component access. Maybe some on the top, but I'm not sure if that's even in yet. Looks like there's a weird damage map we have sometimes on our ships. Notice how the gun here is facing forward with the wings folded back. We have someone flying over to the spaceport. Very cool. You can actually hear the sound effects in atmosphere. What do you know? It does have that little winglet right up here, but it doesn't sweep back as far. It's not as bold and opposed as the Mark I. Our intake / retro thruster guy here. Notice there is no thruster right in the middle there, at least that I can't see, not one I can see, that the Mark I has when it slows down. Moving along, it looks like we really just have our pilot seat panel, or this panel here that we can access. All right, so looking at the storage options here in the Mark II, we can bring it up, and we have 650,000 internal storage, which is the exact same as the Mark I. So at least that is the same between the two of them. Let's go ahead and enter the canopy. All right. Notice the canopy is going to close from the top down versus from the front sliding back. Run in and Looking around the cockpit itself, we have the flight ready button down here on the bottom right, engine on button, the E flag. Let's go ahead and actually turn on power real quick.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
Very good and satisfying sound of the startup. Now our buttons are a little more lit up. Notice that the interior does look quite a bit different from the Mark 1. It doesn't have the more military look. It is a little more of the civilian look for sure. Moving around the other buttons, past engine on, we have open pilot canopy, open exterior, and exit ship. And that is really about it. You have an eject, and yeah. So notice our hand here is a little bit lower and a little bit further back, so it doesn't really obstruct our view like in the Mark 1. And we do have our hand on the throttle over here. We also have same. All right, for the MFDs, yeah, there's only 2 of them, guys. There's only 2. Which the Mark 1 has 4 because this display flipped down to give us kind of like a kneeboard display, and then they fold it up, so that's a little different. 2 is really all you need, and these are the 2 that I would want to see, but maybe an extra one over here or the flip down kneeboard panels would be nice to have as well. So that is the cockpit tour. Let's look at our our signatures here. The IR is 8856. The cross section, which is higher than the Mark 1, I believe, it is 9085. That's probably from the top down. And the EM right now, at least, is 8560 and going down. All right, we can see that the Omni Sky 9s have 13 shots. They do fire significantly slower, and they're bigger, so they do a little bit more damage. And the Revenant Gatlings have 2,000 rounds apiece. All right, let's take kind of the external look as we see Lorville in its darkness here. It does look really, really nice. I really enjoy this this digital camo paint. I think it's very nice. And the ship just looks mean. It looks menacing. It looks small. It looks sleek. The lighting, the reflection, everything coming off of it looks very well done. But now we need to actually see how this thing flies, and we're going to see how it flies around in the Hurston atmosphere. So as we raise up a little bit, we'll go ahead and bring our landing gear in and watch the wings fold forward, sweep forward. There we go. Notice the little small winglet there stayed in the back, and that's kind of like a trailing edge flap-ish, but I'm not sure how much good that's going to do there. All right, everybody, if you noticed a little quick cut there, it is now morning in Lorville. I had an issue with the game recording, so had to come right back in, and time still elapsed. But let's go take this F7A Mk2, and we will fly it around the city of Lorville. So flying it around, it feels really nice, just like the Mark 1. Very responsive. The roll actually feels better than the Mark 1, believe it or not. I think the statistics are exactly the same, but it does feel very good. Going into the cockpit here, we can see our SCM speed about 228 here in atmosphere. Let's give it some boost. Our max boost speed about 435. So back out into third person view. It's such a, I know some people have accused me of being a kind of a bias towards the Hornet, and I guess I am to a degree, but it's just one of the ships and games that I personally enjoy flying a lot, and I've Had a lot of fun with it, and nothing not to like about it. But let's head out into nav mode. Get a little bit more speed going. As you can see us blowing through the atmosphere and the clouds of Hurston towards Everest Harbor. Up in the sky. So this thing does turn in atmosphere a little bit better than the Mk1. At least that's the way it feels. I did film the Mk1 video yesterday. But as soon as we're clear, which should be about now, we're going to quantum over to Everest Harbor. There we go. So let's go ahead and check our actual SCM speed. Not SCM, I'm sorry. Let's check out our maximum nav speed. Let's pulled 11 G's doing that. It looks like 1170 is the maximum speed in navigation mode. Switching over to SCM. Of course, again, 233 is our SCM speed. And our full boost speed, 495 out in space. We'll check our pitch in SCM. It feels just like the Mk1. It pitches really well. One of the hallmarks, I think, of the Hornet series. Look at our yaw speed. Again, you know, a tad bit slow in comparison to some other ships, but it yaws really well. And our roll speed. Again, very well, but could be a little bit better, I guess. One thing, if you guys don't know about it, is you have, when you boost, you actually have better speeds on pitch, roll, and yaw. So if I'm going to hold down boost and I roll, it's a little bit faster. If I boost and I pitch, it's a little bit faster. I believe it just gives extra thrust to your thrusters. And give a look around the exterior of this ship now that it's in the sun. It does look good. That paint is fantastic. We'll give the weapons a fire. It does look really, really nice. I am interested in your thoughts about the ship, though. Do you think it looks nice? Now that we have some sun on us as well, let's take another quick look around the cockpit. You can see a lot different than the Mk1. I mean, of course, our buttons are here, but it doesn't have that very military look. It looks a little bit more up to date with the current generation of ships that have kind of already been out there. All right, well, this is the Anvil F7C Hornet Mk1, and I know you guys didn't come here to watch me just fly it around. I think it's time to get into some dogfights, or at least one, and see how it performs compared to the Mk1. So without further ado, let's find a fight, go get at it. So just as in the other video, we're going to need to switch back into our CM mode to get our shields up. Looking at our missiles, this ship does have more size 2 missiles than the Mk1. It has 8 Ignite 2s because it has bigger missile launchers. So we're going to load up a couple missiles. We're here at Aberdeen, actually, and we're going to see how this goes, I suppose. I am on my sticks for this fight. There we go. It is a reevaluation mission, so we may do more than one, but at least it's an atmosphere flight.
Shields hit.
Ah, okay. So I wasn't able to actually target him in time to get my missiles going. See if we can boost away and get some of that back. Doesn't look like we can. Alright, just switching back to guns. That's more of the game than the ship, of course.
Forward proximity alert.
Be quite honest, I'm not used to using my ships or my sticks. So I gotta do some practice. They're in kind of a weird position for me to use anyway.
Proximity alert.
Oh, there goes the Aurora.
Destroyed.
And that was maybe a little bit too easy. Alright. Coming off that back into mouse and keyboard. I guess we can fly around Aberdeen a little bit and see how the ship performs in atmosphere, since we're already at a moon. It eerily reminds me of the Mark 1. These ships are so similar in their performance. I'm not sure there's really much of a comparison in performance. As far as boost on the near the planet, the moon surface here, about 440s, maybe 450 if I held it down. Roll is really good. Now we can actually see the surface. Let's go ahead and give a pitch check. Still performs really well. Yaw, a little bit of resistance to yaw. I think they still need to tweak some of these parameters. But the turnaround was really good, and those engine sound effects are fantastic. All right, let's head back out into space. And boom. Let's go find another mission. Stick with me. We'll see if we can find one in space. All right, folks, so we are going to have to turn reshade on here because we're on the dark side of Eta. Notice the asteroids there, it can get real dark, so apologies, but I want to be able to see and not smack into an asteroid. So we have a very similar situation where we're going to track this target, fight him. It's an LRT, same as I did with the Mark 1. And now that we are getting closer, I want to switch over to missiles. And manual control of the throttle.
Okay.
All right, there's Hurst right there, our main target. We are in missile range.
Lock.
Go and fire a couple missiles off. Look, it's a Drake Herald. Remember, Jawa loves this ship. And we're out of missile range already.
Forward
Oh, shit.
alert.
Oh my god. I ran into something. Well, my right wing's gone, so I guess it's time to see survivability of the Mark II. I'm gonna switch to my other pips. I gotta trade more with the lag pips. Woo, something happened.
Target destroyed.
And there goes the Drake Herald real fast. He's got a friend.
Lock. Lock.
Want to... There we go. Fire those missiles. See if they actually hit. Guy's not moving a whole lot. This is a Saber Comet. And he was down. I don't think that guy was moving very fast, though. I guess let's check out the damage on the ship. Yeah, took off our right wing. And took off one of our size 4s. But, still fully functional. I guess let's check the flight mechanics out. Still flies pretty well. Got that awesome flashing red light. And we can see how dark it is. And even with the reshade on, I wasn't paying attention to the environment. And I paid the price. All right, so I'm going to go land here somewhere on Ida and get a repair, and we'll come back to you in just a sec. All right, folks, so after being fully repaired here at Ita, one thing I did notice is I didn't even get my hydrogen notice until I was coming into land, and that was after flying around quite a bit. So we'll have to check the fuel flow when we compare these two ships together. But I think the F7A Mk2 is better on gas than the F7A Mk1. So that is definitely something to note. They fought extremely similar. Of course, the weapons are very much the same. The laser cannons do a lot more damage. They fire slower, which right now I kind of prefer that, and I like that with this ship. It also felt a little smoother, the ship itself. I don't like that it only has 2 MFDs, but you know, you gotta be able to take what you can get, I guess, sometimes. So we're gonna swing on over to basically the loadout viewer and compare these two ships, and then we'll actually compare them in SC performance viewer, and then we'll wrap up with my actual final thoughts on comparison of these two ships and see what you guys think. Love to hear your comments below. If you're liking this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to, hop over to our Discord. The link is in the description below, and join the B team. It's an org, but it's also our Discord. We do stream every Thursday night at 7 Mountain and Sunday at 9 a.m. Mountain. And we like to have shenanigans and fun. Jawa and I are both U.S. military veterans, and well, we like to hang out with like-minded people that play Star Citizen and get into some trouble. Got a lot of guys over there in the Discord, so feel free to come by, swing by, hang out, ask questions, whatever you want. Thanks for watching so far. On to the loadout section. 1 action. All right, folks, so here we are back at the loadout section. I guess not back. This is the first time we've been here. Let me switch over to the Mk1 so we can our comparisons here. The F7A Hornet Mk1 is, of course, a medium fighter, size 2, crew size of 1, solo ship, SCM speed of 233, boost forward 503, backward 259. Compare that to the Mk2. It's the exact same. The max speed of the Mk2, 1170, same as the Mk1. Now, if we look at our pitch, yaw, roll statistics here, Mk1 pitch is 60, 48, 159. So we can see that the Mk2 has just a scotch less pitch, has just 1 degree a second less yaw, and a little bit less roll. So just slightly, the Mk1 edges out in the ability to round. And going boosted, the Mk1 is also a little bit better. Circle says the hit points for the Mk1 is it's 21,646. Edges out the Mk2 in whole hit points, which is 20,000. The dimensions are a little bit different between the two ships. We'll see that a little bit later. The mass of the Mk1, 74,000 kilograms, Mk2, 73,000, so a little bit lighter. Begs the question of why it doesn't maneuver the same. I don't make the numbers. The hydrogen capacity of the Mk1, 140,000 liters, 750 for quantum. Mk2, 160,000 liters, 630 for quantum, but I felt like the Mk2 didn't burn through fuel as fast as the Mk. So, with flight statistics out of the way, let's talk about weapons. The F7A Hornet Mk1, it has a size 3 nose turret and 2 size 2 laser repeaters. So it's got Badgers on the nose, has Panthers on the ball turret. So size 5 ball turret, 2 size 3 Panthers. The Mk2 has a size 3 nose turret with 2 OmniSky 9 laser cannons and 2 OmniSky 9 laser cannons on top ball turret. The OmniSky cannons on the Mark II have 499 DPS. The laser repeaters 283. The repeaters have more ammo. They fire faster. But really, I think in 3.23.1, this patch cycle, liking the laser cannons a little bit more. They still fire fairly quick, but they're doing more damage as they fire. And I'm seeing that I'm taking out more ships quicker. So I think that maybe, at least for me, that is for me. The Mark 1 has 2 size 4 ballistic Gatlings that come stock on the wing on the size 4 gimbal. Those are AD4Bs, 1266 DPS. And on the Mark II, it's the Revenant Gatling, 1266 DPS. So DPS is the same. The Revenant does fire faster, but it also has more ammo. So one of the other, well, if you haven't seen it, the difference between these two, as far as the main weapons go that are not missiles, is the Mark 1 has 2 size 2s on the nose. Mark 2 has 2 size 3s on the nose. Other than that, they could be configured the same. And so if we threw the OmniSkys on here as laser cannons, it would be OmniSky 6s, and they would do, looks like 407 DPS versus 499. If we threw something on there like M4As, which do the most damage but have the least amount of ammo, at least for its size, 585 DPS. And if we threw those on throw M5As on the Mark II, and it's 730. So quite a bit of damage. Moving down to the missiles, one of the other big differences between these two ships, the Mark I has 4 missile racks, all size 3 missile racks, and the default loadout is 2 Dominator 2s, size 2s times 2. So that's 4 size 2 missiles, and then it has size 1 missile launchers on there with 4 marksman size 1s. So that's 8 size 1s, 4 size 2s, versus the Mark II, which has 2 size 4 missile launchers, a little bit bigger. They have a total of 8 Ignite 2 size 2 missiles. So we can configure these a little different. We can take like the Marksman 1. Well, you should be able to put the other missile launcher on. I'm not sure why. Do this. Well, Urkel's having weird issues, but you should be able to put size 2s on the Mark 1 as well to give 4 size 2s over 6. And that would give it 8 size 2s, same as the Mark II. Moving over to like things like shields. Shields don't matter in this patch. Every shield has the same amount of hit points, 1500 hit points. But the Mark I does come with Web civilian grade Cs, where the Mark II comes with all stop military grade Cs. Full charge time is the same, hit points is the same. Power plant on the Mark I is a turbo drive military grade C, 9,300 power. That's the Maelstrom military grade C size 2 power plant on the Mark II. Size 2, same power output, so both size 2 power plants. Mark I has 2 civilian grade C Arctic Storm coolers, size 1s, and the Mark II has Bracer military grade C coolers. Neither ship is like in need of extra cooling, so there's no reason in this pack to change out the shields, the power plants, or the coolers. The default quantum drive for both ships is the EOS civilian grade C, which I would highly recommend you replace with a Voyage or an Atlas, which is a civilian grade B and grade A. And they will let you go pretty much anywhere in the system at the maximum speed without having to stop. Yes. Moving on down, the thrusters are different for these fighters. On the Mark I, it has 9 thrusters, giving you 3.44 Gs forward main. Mark II, 12.96 These forward main with 11 thrusters. So more thrusters on the Mark II. The Mark 1 also says main thrust capacity 2.5 meganewtons forward. Mark II is at 9.3. So overall, kind of more thrusters and thrust in the different directions you want to go, but it's a less maneuverable fighter, so that's kind of weird for me overall. Looking at any other bonuses, the EM and the IR, we'll get into that in when we do the comparison. But the Mark 1, 8575 on EM, Mark 2, 10,000 EM, IR on the Mark 1, 7444 and 8856 on the Mark 2. So the Mark 1 is stealthier, if that's a thing with these ships. They're not really that stealthy, but you'll have to be closer to the Mark 1 to detect it. As far as the damage reductions, the Mark 1, 55% physical damage reduction, but it looks like it takes a little bit more energy damage, and it's the same thing with the Mark 2. So some physical damage reduction, but also a little bit more damage on the energy side. And then they both have an increased EM IR cross-section signature. So that's it as far as Urkel really goes. Let's go over to SC Ship's Performance Viewer. We'll just grab the Mark 1 and we'll see that I don't really want to go over this whole thing with everybody, but you guys can go to the website and check it out. It's spviewer.eu. You can see all kinds of data and stats in here as far as how the ship goes and how it consumes things and what it has, but really we're looking at a comparison as well. So the first ship we're going to pick is the F7A Hornet 1. That's going to be, it looks like in red. Mark 2 is going to be in blue. We look at the speed, right on the dot, exactly the same performance. If we look at the propulsion, the Mark 2, because we talked about it had more thrusters, so it has more forward thrust, more backward thrust, more strafing thrust, side strafe, but up thrust is the same, down thrust is a little bit more in the Mark II. So even though it's less maneuverable overall on the pitch, yaw, and roll rates, it does have more thrust in all those axes. The boost multiplier is the same, axis rotation is the same. Sensing a theme here. Shields, hull durability is the same, but when we get to total health pool, the Mark 1 has a little bit more in the red here. And the Mark II has more total parts, but pretty negligible as far as the differences in that. They're very much the same. And as you saw in the Mark II Dogfight part, first person, I lost a whole wing and it still flew really well. Looking at resistances and stealth modifiers, they are, over here at least, they're almost exactly the same as far as resistances go. They are exactly the same, not almost. In dimensions and mass, we'll see that when we do a different comparison, but the Mark 1 is a little bit bigger overall and it weighs a little bit. The inventory and cargo, it says the Mark 1 can hold more, although I'm not sure that's true, but it could be a bug, but it looks like it does actually hold internally. It says it's the same. Radar emissions. A little bit of a difference here. The Mark II has more radar emissions in EM and IR and cross section. So it has significantly more in the cross section of top and side. As the front, it's pretty low between the two of them. Fuel tank capacity. So fuel is an issue with the Mark 1 for sure. The Mark II can hold more fuel. Maybe that's why it didn't seem like it was burning through fuel as much. And the Mark 1 can hold more quantum fuel. So that's weird, but it is what it is. It's pretty negligible between the two. It's not a reason to get a faster quantum drive. Fuel flow per minute. It says here the Mark 1 actually burns less fuel flow per minute than the Mark II, or less fuel per minute. Maybe that the Mark II is flowing more, but maybe it's because the fuel tank for the Mark 1 is 20,000 liters smaller, that feels like it goes through gas really, really fast. I mean, it doesn't feel like it. It does. The estimated flight time for the Mark II is less than the Mark I. It is faster to scoop fuel in the atmosphere. So go figure on that. Okay, the weapons capacitors are the same. Boost duration and regen rate are the same. So let's go to the summary chart here, and we can actually see the graph between the two. The red is the Mark I, the blue is the Mark II. As we can see, the Mark I shows it to have a little bit more flight time, a little bit more stealth. The Mark II significantly over here on the right side has more strafing and thrust capabilities. Other than that, these graphs are almost identical, very, very close to being the same. And coming up here to the metrics, see what the ships look like. The Mark II sitting over the Mark I, it is a little bit smaller overall. The winglets are like in the same position, but they don't move. But they are fairly similar, of course, in size and shape, with the Mark II just being a little bit smaller. So, interesting profile there. Let's do a side profile. So again, hard to tell which one's a Mark I and Mark II. With the Mark II on top. I mean, almost identical ships, but we know they're actually not. They are different, and they do fly just a tad bit. All right, I think that's enough for the loadout and the comparisons of the ships. Let's go back to myself in-game. Thanks for watching so far. Alrighty, folks, so here is the final thoughts of the video, and, well, it's actually hard to pick a winner. I really like both ships, and they are so similar, and they perform so similar, that I'm going to fly them both probably quite a bit. What is the Mark 1 better at? Well, the Mark 1 to me feels just a scotch more maneuverable, and I think it actually truly is a little bit more maneuverable, and it has the kind of some nostalgia to it. It's one of the older models of the ships, and I don't know if that's what's going to be in Squadron 42 one day. I hope so, but it feels really good to fly, and I think I may have that ship set up in a certain type of weapon configuration that I like, that I can swap between the two ships. I'm still thinking in my head, how am I going to pick a winner? I don't think there is a winner. I think each ship is just so close. The Mark II, it feels a little lighter on its feet. It has, I mean, the missiles are realistically the same. It does have a bigger ability to put nose guns on it by one size, and so that kind of gives it an edge. And the cockpit inside is a little bit cleaner looking, but the Mark I has 4 MFDs compared to 2, so it's, even though your knee kind of sticks up on the right one, so maybe 3.5 MFDs instead of 2. So yeah, final thoughts, I really like both ships. If you don't have a F7A, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I guess hopefully you had your chance during the overdrive initiative, and I would imagine CIG is probably going to want to sell this ship over and over and over again if possible. But I would imagine it's to some kind of time limited event or sale or something like that. Maybe they'll run the overdrive initiative again. If you pick up the F7C Mark II, it is super similar to the F7A. It's a very good ship. Some weapon size differences, and I believe missile size differences, but other than that, it is super comparable, and you'll get really the same experience as you would get in the F7A. You won't get the cool digital camo paint, and you definitely won't get the cool green UEE navy paint that we get with the Mark I. I think those are probably going to stay exclusive to those ships. At least I hope so. I do want ships to have some sort of unique look to them, and it's just them and just for them, instead of all the variants having everything out there. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. I'm kind of left speechless. I've been having a lot of fun flying these ships around and capturing some footage and just testing them out, and it reaffirms that I am super biased towards the Hornet. It's for my money as a medium fighter, it's the best medium fighter in the game. I do at some point want to record a video that has all the medium fighters stacked up against each other, and not just my opinion, but someone else is maybe a little less biased, like Jawa or Tibbs, Optimus, or someone from the B team, maybe even you, if you look down in the comments section, and not the comments, the description, the doobly-doo, and go hop over to our Discord and check it out. So with that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you get a chance to fly these things and get in it, go do some dogfighting. If you ever see me online, or you hop into the B team, you want to fly the Mark I, want to fly the Mark II, whatever, just let me know, and I will of course make the ship available to you, and you can go test it out, see how it flies, and fall in love with this ship and this game all over again. It's almost like a honeymoon phase every time I get a new ship. And then I remember it's Star Citizen, and we all have a long, long way to go. With that, I am Fist-25. Thanks for watching. Remember, if the fist don't get you, the lightning bolt will. Good night, Stanton.